All right, 5 o'clock. Let's get started. Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Military Trailblazer Office Hours. Thank you for taking the time out of your Wednesday evening to spend it here in the spirit of community, mentorship, and learning. I'm your host, Dave Albright. As always, accompanied by Dave Nava. Geraldine's here as well. I'm a solution engineer at Salesforce and a military trailblazer. Each week, we invite a co-host or co-host to take part in the conversation so that we can leverage their experience, expertise, and unique perspectives. The focus for tonight's session is How to Get Hired series. Learn how to leverage the Trailblazer Career Marketplace. Next might be how to learn how to read. So if this is interesting to you, help you leverage the Trailblazer Career Marketplace, this is a session for you. I'd like to welcome and briefly introduce our co-hosts for tonight's session, Katherine Clark and Casey Robertson Howe. Katherine is the Director of Product Management. Many have know her and have seen her here before. She is also the head of Salesforce Military. She is a Bush Institute scholar and a leader in the Salesforce ecosystem, focusing on innovative technical products. She's been honored by her peers who note that she is an extraordinary leader, a proactive problem solver, and an exceptional mentor. She helps communities bridge the digital gap, the skills gap, and facilitates innovative career pathways and enhancements for new talent breaking into the technology industry. She is a devoted advocate for the military and ally community, and an active mentor with Veterati and a military spouse as well. Casey has been with Salesforce for just over 6 years, initially as the senior manager of the Pathfinder program, and recently was promoted to the director of learning engagement, where she focuses on product learning and strategy. A thoughtful leader and excellent project manager, Casey is mission-driven with demonstrated strengths in creating equitable, inclusive, and innovative pathways for the development of the workforce that powers the Salesforce ecosystem. So great to have you both co-hosting office hours with us. Welcome. It would be great if you could each take a moment to introduce yourselves further and share your Salesforce stories. Katherine, would you like to lead us off?
Yes, thank you so much. And thanks for having me, everyone. And thanks for attending this session. I hope you get something great out of it. If not, just let David Albright know and he'll take care of it all, I promise.
Maybe.
So I kind of wear multiple hats at Salesforce, one of them being head of Salesforce Military. I joined Salesforce about 6 years ago and came on just to specifically work on the Salesforce Military product and program. And then it just kind of grew and blossomed along the way, as a lot of career paths do. They change, they're windy, they have branches. But right now it's just a great place to be in because I'm doing both Salesforce Military and product management, which is definitely a love of mine in the technology industry. So as David said, military spouse, we live in Jacksonville, Florida, and have been here for many years and have the countdown to retirement on. So I'll be coming on to these sessions when I'm ready to help us along that journey once we get there. So looking forward to talking about the Trailblazer Career Marketplace and looking forward to getting feedback, but I'll pass it to Casey.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the invite to participate today, and thank you for having me. I'm Casey Robertson Howe. I'm coming to you from the Salesforce Tower in Indianapolis, Indiana. And my Salesforce journey began many years ago. My career, I started out in education. I taught in East Oakland for a couple of years, and that's actually how I was introduced to the Salesforce platform. We were using Salesforce to track our volunteer management. We were using Salesforce to track student attendance, and I was just dabbling in a little bit of data administration and management. And then I took a role as a college counselor, helping first-generation college students find their way to and through college, and also in the Bay Area. And we were using Salesforce to track where our students were applying to college, what their GPAs were, what their SAT and ACT scores were. And I thought it was fascinating because we were able to do really interesting data analytics focused on what schools our students were getting into, how well they were persisting in school, if they were engaging in office hours and doing all the right stuff in college. And I fell in love with the Salesforce platform. I was like, this is so cool. It made my job easier. It made me provide informed decisions to students. And so when my family decided to leave the Bay Area for less expensive housing, I knew that Salesforce had a hub here in Indianapolis. And I was lucky to be in the right place at the right time. They were opening up a job for the Pathfinder training program. And so applied, and here I am. Pathfinder, although it looks a little bit different these days, was Salesforce's internal workforce development program, really focused on developing the next generation of Trailblazers with really intensive training. It was sort of the sister program to Salesforce Military in many, many ways. And so now I work on the Trailhead team, supporting our products, supporting our learners to make sure that we are continuing to grow our ecosystem, get people skilled up on Salesforce, and support everyone here. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And thank you for the Trailhead stuff. God, where will we all be without Trailhead, right? A lot of us have pivoted in because of it. So for those joining for the first time, we always like to briefly explain the purpose of these office hours. These sessions are an informal get-together for gathering with military trailblazers and allies to explore non-technical Salesforce career and branding-related topics to achieve your goal, to help you achieve your professional development and career-related goals. The next hour is intended to be an opportunity for collaborative mentorship. Everyone on the call is encouraged to step up and help answer questions from your perspective, which will provide additional diversity of experience to the answers given. Please keep an eye on the chat window during tonight's session. I and others on this call share a lot of great information there, including learning, networking, and employment opportunities. If you'd like to ask a question at any point during today's session, please feel free to do so. If you don't feel as comfortable speaking up, you can always post your questions in chat. We'll do our best to monitor the chat window and also be looking for raised hands. And finally, tonight's session is being recorded. If you'd like to share an attribution-free comment, please let us know before speaking, and we'll be sure to make sure it's edited out of the final recording. So I think first up, Casey and Katherine want to share some slides. So let me go ahead and bring those up. The 15 different tabs I have over here. There we go.
Yeah, I can get started. We're here today to talk about this Trailblazer Career Marketplace, which you may have heard about. We launched mid-December at New York World Tour. And as Casey was talking about her background and what she has done before Salesforce and after, kind of got me thinking about that I just kind of wanted to bring into the conversation of Casey and I, we worked on this together, this launch together. I was on the product side. She was talking to our partners and getting partners and employers signed up and helping Trailblazers create their resume and their career profile. And I think it just goes back to, we were just like at the perfect intersection of workforce development, helping folks like jump into a new career, whether it's, a brand new career, or maybe they were already kind of an admin for a few years or a consultant for a few years, and they were ready to kind of make that jump or make that leap into the next phase of their career. So combining that with the technology now and with, on Trailhead, I'm hoping that you kind of see some of the sprinkling, in the marketplace of workforce development and of our love of Trailblazers and wanting you all to find success, and then wanting our customers and partners to find the great talent, which is you. So we're going to talk about what the marketplace is from a Trailblazer standpoint, but then you're also going to get to see it from the employer point of view. So whether some of you are employers or you're just interested, what does it look like when an employer is searching for me and pulls up my information, you're going to get to see that too. So David, if you want to go ahead and jump to the next slide. We can skip that one. We already did intros, and I'm not Nasira today, but I will do the forward-looking statement. So we just encourage all of you that if you are making purchasing decisions, to make it on publicly available features and not any future features I may talk about. So if you want us to read this slide, David's going to stay after and do that.
It's quizzable material as well.
Next slide. Just want to say thank you. Honestly, it is like our pride and joy to get to do this and to get to help people make those career decisions. I always say I have no idea what my career is going to look like in 5 years, because 5 years ago, I could have never dreamt of what this looks like today. So I want to be able to help you, and we want to be able to help you do the same thing, is build that career, find that next thing that makes you happy and that, brings you contentment in your career. So we're hoping that the marketplace does that for you. So thank you for being here. Next slide. We can skip this too. We're going to do that overview, show the resume, and then we'll go to frequently asked questions, and you're also going to get a demo. So Right now, we're going to jump in from the Trailblazers point of view. So Dave, if you want to go ahead and move to the next slide, please, we're going to jump right in. We're going to start with this demo. And in this demo, we're going to see both the Trailblazer side and the employer side. It's only about 3 minutes, so we didn't make it too painfully long. So let's get it started.
Here we go.
Meet Jasmine. Jasmine has been working in the Salesforce ecosystem for a few years now and is currently finishing up a contract. She's ready to kick off her job search and recently heard about the Trailblazer Career Marketplace, where she can turn on career mode and be found by employers. She heads to the Trailblazer Career Marketplace to get started. First, she notices that information from her Trailblazer profile is already displayed, as well as additional fields relevant to her job search. Jasmine adds her desired work locations and selects that she's both open to work and relocation. Next, she makes sure that career mode is turned on so that employers can find her when they're searching for talent. She's also glad to see that she has additional preferences available to her so that she can control if employers can direct message her and if they can see that she's actively available for hire. Now she's brought to her resume, where she will build out additional career details like her career path, motivators, as well as upload a video for employers to get to know her better. Next, she adds her education, work experience, and project experience. And now that her resume is built out, she's going to check out the rest of the Trailblazer Career Marketplace. The first thing she does is check out the job postings. She sees that there are a number of roles that she's interested in and clicks apply. Next, she heads to the companies page. This page shows all of the employers who have joined the career marketplace to look for talent. She can review their company profiles and even see their open positions. She goes to the messages tab. This is where she'll see messages that come from employers who have reviewed her resume and sent her a message. She sees that there's additional career resources, and she's excited to keep building out her resume and connecting with employers. Next, we're going to follow the journey of Salesforce partner SereneSphere Technologies. SereneSphere has been looking for a way to rapidly identify talent based on their verified Salesforce certifications, years of experience, as well as hands-on product experience. JP is a lead recruiter at SereneSphere, and he heads to the Trailblazer Career Marketplace to get started. First, before he can begin searching for candidates, he sets up his company profile. The company profile will have details relevant to job seekers, like headquarters locations, company careers page, logo, media, company overview, and more. He can also include links to company YouTube videos that they want to share with job seekers. Now that the company profile is ready, JP heads to the candidates page, where he will begin searching for talent. The first thing he notices are the filters on the left-hand side of the screen. He's excited to see that he can filter talent based on verified Salesforce credentials, hands-on experience with Salesforce products, and more. JP is looking for someone with the new Salesforce AI Associate certification. He immediately notices Jasmine's information and clicks to review her resume. Her experience meets a lot of the qualifications for their open job, so he sends her a direct message. Now that he sent her a message, JP is excited to hear back from her, as well as continue searching for talent for their other open roles. Both Jasmine and JP are both excited to continue using the Trailblazer Career Marketplace to find jobs, find talent, and connect.
Right. I think I'm going to take over the next 2 slides. And so now that you have seen what it looks like, we want to talk about the value that it can bring to both you and if you are looking for someone at your company to use the marketplace. When we were developing the marketplace, and Katherine, please chime in, we met with so many recruiters and also Trailblazers to help drive what this should look like and what would actually be helpful. And so I just want you to know that we know that one of your pain points is like being able to find and scrape LinkedIn for companies that use Salesforce. This is all here for you now. We know that one of the pain points for recruiters is being able to find you all and verify your credentials. And so this is really where all of those things meet together in one like verified place, which I think is really, really powerful. So if you want to go to the next slide. For Trailblazers, one, it's really important that you can demonstrate your Salesforce skills and your certifications and your achievements all in one place, right? This automatically pulls in your Trailhead badges. It automatically pulls in your certifications and any of the credentials that you've earned. And I think really creates a holistic, dynamic view of you as a candidate. I think the other thing that we hear a lot from Trailblazers is that they want to be able to tell their story. You come to us from so many varied industries. You've made a career change, and the courage that it takes to make that career change is tremendous. And so how do you get to tell that story? It's through a video introduction. And so that's a way for you to not only showcase who you are on paper, but also who you are as a person, which I think is really, really powerful. Like we talked about before, you get to explore the partner companies that are on the website. It's all in the one location. You don't have to be like, is this the Salesforce partner? Did they have Salesforce roles? You're on this website. You're on the marketplace. They're a Salesforce customer or partner. You can communicate directly with recruiters. They're looking for people with Salesforce talent, with Salesforce skills. And it surfaces, you saw on the demo, it surfaces Salesforce specific job descriptions through a third-party integration with ZipRecruiter. So those jobs that you're seeing are US-based jobs that we've pulled in automatically from ZipRecruiter. All right, next slide. Okay, so what you saw in the video was actually a Trailblazer turning on career mode. And so we are going, if you have not yet, we want to encourage all of you to turn on career mode. It doesn't take a ton of time to put together your career mode I'm going to call it like a lot of different things. Katherine, please keep me honest on what the actual nomenclature is. So, but you can turn on career mode, which means that you are building out, you're expanding your Trailblazer profile. Anybody can turn on career mode. You don't have to be job seeking. You could be just wanting to show an expanded view of all the skills and certifications that you have, or showcase some of your projects or an experience cloud site that you've built. So we're encouraging Trailblazers of all experience levels to turn on career mode. And so if we have time today, would love to help you all turn on career mode for yourselves. Next slide. Okay, and the last thing that I want to say about career mode is that we want to make sure that you can stand out on the marketplace. There will be Trailblazers from all over the globe on the marketplace. And so it's really a place for you, like I said, to create a more dynamic view of yourself than what you can necessarily show on a resume or what gets spit out through an ATP system on the recruiter side. So you get to show your skills, you get to show your projects, you get to show the years of experience that you have, you get to showcase the products that you have an interest in or that you have experience implementing. And what's really relevant, I think, for this group is reflecting on your transferable skills. How can you show that the industry experience you have from a previous life now correlates to the life that you have now or the career that you're pursuing now? And so I just like that it creates a more holistic 360 picture of you as a candidate on career mode, bringing all of these things of your life and your work and your motivators into one single place for folks to see. Next slide. Okay. Katherine, am I taking this or am I passing it back to you?
I can take it on. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to just like expand on, some of the stuff that Casey said. When we were building this, we really wanted just to provide that place to connect. We weren't quite building, like Casey was saying, like the next like applicant tracking system or a way for, a recruiter to come in and track all their leads and who they're talking to. But we did want them to find talent based on your Salesforce skills, Salesforce credentials, anything you've done, on Salesforce, and to be able to quickly message you. They can also, view like a LinkedIn profile if you've added it there. So it definitely doesn't have to happen right there on the marketplace. But that was our main goal, is to bring people together, bring the Trailblazers together, bring the hiring managers and the recruiters together. For so long we did, we did training, we did Trailhead badges. We helped with like the career prep, but there was never like that one place to go where you could find all talent and you could find like all hiring managers or recruiters. So that's what we're talking about right here on these slides is what does this look like for a company? Maybe you work for a partner or a Salesforce customer and you want them to come on to the marketplace and look for talent. You can absolutely have them do that. I'll talk about it right now from a partner standpoint, and then we'll fill you in on the fun customer side of it in a few minutes. But definitely, if you know of somebody who is maybe looking for talent, encourage them, especially if they're a Salesforce partner right now. Say, hey, have you looked on the Trailblazer Career Marketplace? Because the more times you refer people to Trailblazer Career Marketplace, it just increases chances that somebody on there is going to find that job that they're looking for. So it's definitely a way to help out, is to like let them know, like, hey, yeah, you can search, like you can filter by the specific hands-on experience of a specific cloud. In the demo, I'm not sure if you remember, but on the resume in the employment section, you can add like which products that you worked on. And so when a recruiter is filtering for talent, like sure, they can do it by certification, but if for some reason their job rec required like, hey, we need like 3 years of hands-on of like, you know, that like AI, you can just put that in there. You put in Data Cloud and it's going to like pop up anyone who has hands-on Data Cloud experience. So definitely let folks who are hiring know that this exists and that they can find great talent on there. We can go to the next slide, please. So there's really two use cases for employers when they join the career marketplace. The first one is they get to create that company profile so they can start marketing themselves to candidates. You know, getting a job or being hired for a job or hiring is a two-way street. You're interviewing your employer and they're interviewing you. So just as much as you're marketing yourself to them and your skills and what you could bring to them, they need to be doing the same to you. So that's where they can provide this. They can talk about their mission, they can add photos, put links to their jobs page. So this is their way to get their information in front of the great talent like yourself. Next, please. And probably the most used feature by an employer is the candidate search. So this is where they can come in here and really like identify that talent that they're looking for. You know, other kind of job sites or social media sites, they can't necessarily filter for all of the things that they can filter in the marketplace. In the marketplace, your certification is verified. We know that you are the one who earned that certification. And so when it's on your career profile, they know that person has earned the certification. They didn't just like type it in on LinkedIn or wherever. So the next thing is like that hands-on experience. You can certainly type in Sales Cloud, but you're probably going to find like anyone who's ever talked about Sales Cloud in a post. Whereas here, you can filter specifically on like, I want to know that they worked on Sales Cloud. So we're really just hoping to empower these employers with the tools that they need to find the talent that they need to run their business. All right, next slide, please. So we do get frequently asked questions. We launched in, mid-December with our very first release, our very first kind of version of the marketplace. And we definitely have things on our roadmap that we're just very excited to bring. Some things that will, kind of quote unquote, never, I know you're not supposed to say never, never do, like I said, like an applicant tracking system. We're not going to become that, but we do want to continue bringing in the features that are helpful for these customers to find the talent and the talent to find the jobs. So if you want to go ahead and go to the next one, these are just some common frequently asked questions that we tend to get. The first one being, do we get a drum roll? Okay, who can see Trailblazers that have turned on career mode? We do get this question. So who can see it? Any employer in the marketplace can see your profile if you have career mode on. Now, kind of like a few ways to think about this. The first one is, this is not career mode, and the career marketplace is not just for like active job seekers. I am on the market for a new job. There's different ways of doing that. You can select like actively seeking job. You can select career mode on, and you can select can send me a DM, like a recruiter can send me a DM. Those are three very different preferences so that you can really like hone in and identify, how do I want to show up on this marketplace? How can I be on it without kind of signaling to my employer, hey, I'm looking for a job, and I'm like trying to get, you know, conversations with potential new employers. You can do that by, you know, not having like that seeking new work or having like the DM. Now, if you want to have the DMs on, the vast majority of people in there have that on. I think it's definitely at like over 95%. So I don't think that's going to signal anything to anyone that like they're looking for a new job. That's where you can just toggle on that actively seeking job. Okay, next one. Can Trailblazers apply to jobs directly on the marketplace? So we do have a jobs page. This is an integration that we have with ZipRecruiter. So it is pulling in jobs that we have worked with them to really narrow down to Salesforce specific roles. So we've mapped them to, like, let's say architect. If you are on the jobs page and you pull down architect, it's going to pull in the jobs and the most recent jobs related to Salesforce architect type roles. So right now that is limited to the United States, and future looking statement, safe harbor statement, we are looking to add at least 5 additional countries this quarter to that. So that is what we're working on. We're going to continue to seek more global job listings, but at the moment we are looking to increase the number of countries there. I just answered my own question, so we can jump to the next one. Can career mode be hidden from current employers? So I kind of answered that in the beginning with that first question. Like, no, there's not a way right now to dynamically like hide yourself. There are a few concerns about doing that because there are so many loopholes. You know, if somebody has access to a marketplace or to the marketplace to the employer side, but they maybe work at multiple places or they have access to multiple orgs, there's still a chance that they could see you. And so we didn't want to launch something without being being 100% sure. We can provide you complete anonymity from your current employer if you would like it. Okay, so the best thing is obviously for the Trailblazers, it's going to be free. But for the employers, this is 100% free for employers. And, you know, this isn't like a new SKU that they have to buy. This isn't a new product that they have to opt in for. We are really, truly wanting to make that connection between their hiring needs and the awesome talent that's already out there. So there's no cost for employers to come in and use it. Okay, the Hire Me button. Can you like type in the chat if you know what the Hire Me button is? So I don't know if it just takes a while to type or, okay, Christopher does. Thank you. Thank you, Christopher. So I asked because before launching the marketplace, is it like, kind of, yeah. So before launching the marketplace for about a year on your profile, you could turn on this Hire Me button. And basically on your Trailhead account, on your profile, it would show like Hire Me, and an employer could click it and send you a message. So we basically packaged that feature into the marketplace. So when in the demo video you saw JP like send a message, that's exactly what the Hire Me button was. It was somebody being able to indicate I'm looking for work, and you know, an employer to be able to contact them. So this is like the new and improved Hire Me button. All right. Next slide, which is next steps. We can go to the next one. So something that Casey's team also did was they created these awesome Trailhead badges. That's a quick look badge. So if you're looking to rack up your number of badges, if you're on, you know, the hunt for Ranger or Triple Ranger, definitely take that one. And then the next one on the screen, this career mode setup, we'll provide the links. That's just like a more deeper dive into all the settings, all the different, you know, ways to fill out your information. So just a little bit of a deeper dive than what we did today on setting up your profile. So thank you so much for letting us talk about this. In summary, I just want to say that it really is truly our goal is to help awesome people find great jobs with amazing customers and partners. And so I definitely, had dropped a hint that we had like some fun news, and this is another safe harbor thing, but we're opening a pilot for customers to come on and use the career marketplace. So that's how we're going to get even more people hired, is to open this up to all Salesforce customers. So that pilot is starting about next month. If you know of a customer who's interested, hit up myself or Casey and we'll get them on the list for the pilot and kind of provide that information. To the Davids and Geraldine, anyone, internal at Salesforce, same goes for you. If you know a customer out there looking, let us know.
Perfect. Thank you. Anything else on the presentation, Katherine?
Nope. Casey, is there anything that you might want to provide, or just any more like insight or context, especially for like this group?
I would love to take questions, and I'm sure some more context will emerge from your questions. Yeah.
I think Christopher L. already has his hand up. And Christopher, the floor is yours.
Hi. Also, first, already on there. Been on there for a couple weeks. It's still have to fill it in quite a bit. But I have a question about on the main page. There's under career, there's career path, motivators, get to know me. I mean, the get to know me is a little bit more obvious, but the career path and motivators, I'm a little curious what you had in mind with that section, because there's not like any information bubble there for it, and I didn't really see anything in the Trailhead orientation module specific to that, or I might have skimmed through it fast and missed it. So I could very easily have missed something there, but I'm curious what your vision for that section is and how it should be used.
We actually had some slides on that, Christopher, and we hid them. But that's okay. So we don't have to share that. We can share those slides with you. In that career mode setup badge, we do have a bit of details and some examples about what Trailblazers could put in both your career path section and your motivator section. I think of the career path section as like how you arrived here, right? Sort of your background and a little bit of details, the narrative of who you are. And then I think the motivators section shares a little bit more about what drives you. So that could be that I saw in the chat that it might be cheesecake, if that's what you would like to share with your future employer, or it might be like you are a lifelong learner and you are motivated by learning new technologies and you want to be able to support your family in a new career path. And so I think that the career path section is really a little bit of your backstory and how you arrived to this place, and the motivators is a little bit more future looking, forward looking about how you hope to grow your career with Salesforce. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add, Katherine.
Yeah, I think you're completely right. It's providing information to the employer of, sometimes a resume is very backward facing, of like, here's what I've done in my past. Even if it's like a certification, maybe you'd done it like 3 years ago, like as a marketing cloud, and you haven't touched marketing cloud and you now have your sights on a different cloud. It could be like, I have this experience, and then like, here's where I'm going. Here are the jobs that I'm searching for. Here's where I could bring value to a company. So you could either put that in your career path or in the motivators. I know, some employers and recruiters, when they are looking at candidates, they are looking for some of that information of like, what's a motivator, kind of like when you're looking at the company profile that they filled out, you're looking at like, what's their mission statement? Like what drives this company? It's kind of like getting like that personality. So I encourage you to kind of add that to your motivators so that they can then like kind of learn about you more as a person.
Cool. Thank you very much. That helps a lot. And I see that the links got posted in there for the Trailhead modules, so I'll go back and look at those as well. I like it. The layout's really cool. I think the only thing I had a difficulty with is more of a technical thing. Was I was trying to update my LinkedIn on it, and then tried to update my LinkedIn on my Trailhead Trailhead, Trailblazer. Okay. So is this something you guys have seen before? It wasn't
only once or twice, but now that you say it, yeah, I think it's something we should revisit and see if it was kind of a fluke at the time and we've fixed it with time,
okay.
or if it's something we need to keep testing and find a resolution for. But yeah, it's always helpful to hear like the stumbling blocks, because like as much as we test, like we're never going to kind of find each kind of use case. And so it helps so much to hear that feedback from people like yourself, an early adopter, I will call you, of the Trailblazer Career Marketplace. So yeah, thanks so much for being on there. And if at any time you have any other feedback, feel free to reach out to us. I will say on this, very not recorded podcast or webinar that I am not the best at checking my LinkedIn messages. For me, I love LinkedIn. It's also like another funnel of incoming for me. And sometimes I have to like shut off funnels of incoming. So currently LinkedIn doesn't have that. You can turn it off in the marketplace though. Just want to say that.
Actually, that does remind me of just a short follow-up question. When recruiters reach out to me through the messaging feature, does it also copy a message to my email? This is my Trailhead is not something I generally go into looking for messages. I found them in the past. It's been a surprise when I find them there. But
that's a great question, and I can help with that. So the same messaging system in the Trailblazer Career Marketplace is the same one in the Trailblazer community. So you can just update your settings in either side. You can go into the Trailblazer community and update your messages settings so that like you receive an email for every message that you receive, or like every DM that you receive, and that'll ensure that you don't miss them, because yeah, the notifications are connected.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Carrie, and I think Dave Nava had a question. Dave, did you retract?
I retracted over to Carrie.
Okay, Carrie, you're up.
But you're on mute.
Once a
Okay.
day, whether you need to or not.
At least. You might have gone over this and I might have missed it, but so I know like it's able to verify us as Trailblazers. What's the process to verify employers, people that want us, because they're receiving our information, and that way we're not getting spammed with all kinds of weird things.
I tried to unmute, and apparently I needed to clap. I was kind of giving Casey a beat.
Batting 1,000 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I bring my awkwardness everywhere I go, so it's always with me. Yes. Okay. So the one thing we do talk about the marketplace is that it is like a trusted place, and that was important for us. And it's why it's not kind of open to everyone to come in and view candidates and filter for talent, because we did want it to be a secure place, and that you didn't, just get like overrun with spam. So we do that in two ways. The first way is the only way a partner can enter in is if they are verified in the partner community. So their Trailhead account won't even work or allow them in the marketplace unless they are already signed in with the partner community. So that's the first way. If you work at a partner and you have access to the partner community, you can get into the marketplace. We do that because it's not just the HR department at a company who's hiring. I don't work in HR at Salesforce, but occasionally we might be hiring in, a specific area or specific program. And I've hired like 3 or 4 times, and like I specifically go out and look for talent. So it might not just be the HR team. So that's why we let any hiring manager in. When it comes to customers, so we talked about the customer pilot. That will be ran specifically through their AE. So they have to get access from their current AE if they're a Salesforce customer. That'll be for the pilot. And if we do launch something that's more scalable after a pilot, it'll again be verified in some way that they're an active customer of Salesforce.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
They
So
had to
let
like
me-
authenticate. They have to be like, I'm in the partner community, and that's the only way I can get access to the marketplace, because we don't want you guys getting spammed from random bots about jobs.
And so you said an interesting thing there, Katherine. Customers, so Salesforce customers can get approved by their AE and get on there. Is the thought process like, hey, you're getting an implementation of Salesforce, you're probably going to look for some talent to kind of help run the org once it's up and running?
Yeah, and AEs have told us that even after implementation, that sometimes they'll get a message from a current customer saying like, hey, we're looking for somebody to do X, Y, or Z for us, or maybe somebody at their current company is leaving and they're needing to replace them. Sometimes they'll reach out to an AE and ask like, do you know of anybody, or is there, can you post this somewhere? So this is somewhere they can point them. So it's just another resource that they can use to make sure their implementation is successful, whether it's a new one or an existing one.
Yeah, I could see a lot of use for that, because obviously Dave and I see some of that on our end of the pre-sale side. Dave, you have a question?
I do. I'll keep this one. So apologies if this was already asked, but can Trailblazers with career mode on see other Trailblazers with career mode on? Because I know that like when I go to when I was starting my LinkedIn journey, I would go to other Salesforce professionals and go, well, what did they put? And I kind of base my profile creation upon that. And it was a really helpful tool, but I'm not sure if that exists in the career marketplace.
That was one of the FAQs. You were not able to see other Trailblazer.
Okay.
You were not able to see other Trailblazers profiles in career mode, only employers.
Okay, I missed that. My apologies.
Yep. Yeah, it's all good.
Kind of to your point about like, getting inspiration from seeing either other people's journeys or just how other people have created, their marketplace resume. When we launched, because we had a group of pilot users right before launch, Dave, we had pulled you in just to see it and give feedback.
Yep.
Something that they did at launch was that a lot of people took a screenshot of their resume, their marketplace resume, and put it on LinkedIn. So it did make us think like maybe some folks do want to share. I don't know that in the roadmap it's going to be kind of open to everyone, but maybe there's a way you can share it, like a shareable mode, or share in a way that kind of exports like a screenshot. Kind of, we could definitely talk to folks like the people on this call and see like, what would you want? Would you want to be able to make it shareable, or would you just want to kind of like be able to share like an export of it?
Yeah, like privacy settings in LinkedIn, you can make those choices.
Yeah, and I think I've gone through the Trailhead for it. I know Dave was part of the initial group. I've set mine up at the very, very basic level, but I think it is so tailored for the Salesforce knowledge, right? If you're looking for Salesforce folks, probably nothing gives you as much information on them unless you really wrote a well-written either cover page or resume or a LinkedIn, which most of us don't. It's probably a good way to really put that kind of knowledge out there. Iris and Christopher, I see your questions. Let's quickly, because we're well past the halfway point, because I managed time poorly today. We're all doing great. We are at the midpoint of the session. Before I forget, it's time for me to take the weekly photo where I have my mouth wide open and look like a moron. But let's get a group photo for sharing on social media. This is important because we always need to be branding. We'll plan to post this on LinkedIn and Twitter tomorrow. You can all give me extra points if my mouth is open and how many teeth you can see. We'll tag everyone in the photo. If you have only your first name showing, if only your first name is showing, go ahead and you want your full name, go ahead and add it in the chat and we'll add it in there. We'll include it as we get a chance. And for everyone who wants to participate in the photo, please unmute your photo and we'll grab a screenshot here momentarily. I'll give you a countdown. All right. I'm going to try and close my mouth and not stare at the screen. All right, everybody ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, Katherine,
I waited until your mouth was open, then I took the picture, Dave.
Thank you. I wouldn't want to break a tradition. I think bad luck will fall upon me if I actually don't. Ms. Collis, you're up for your question.
Thanks so much. Thank you. And David, I'm glad you made it in time. This would not have been one to have missed. This is very,
That's why
very
I'm so
good.
flustered. I was sprinting to get here, coming from the Uber.
And Katherine, wow, you guys have been busy. I remember you hinted to some of it early November, but this is way more than you hinted to then. And it's really, really cool and exciting what Salesforce are trying to do. Casey, thank you for being here and sharing your story as well. We're loving it. One thing I wanted to ask was, so Salesforce have their career page, and I know that sometimes people are looking towards getting that to that mothership. Would Salesforce be utilizing the career marketplace for their hiring as well? Just throwing it out there.
So as of today, Salesforce partners are the only employers in there, and then next month, customers. So if Salesforce becomes a user, and we've been asked, so for a few reasons, not today, but if they do, I will personally send you a message, Iris, and let you know.
I just think that's it's awesome. I had another question which seems to have scarpered out of my head. Okay. I'll get up and let somebody else, and if I remember, I'll come back.
Christopher L., you're back on.
Yeah. The customers discussion reminded me of something. I know that, as you just said before, job seekers won't be able to see each other on there. The customers will be able to see job seekers, and the job seekers will be able to see any jobs posted by those customers. But will job seekers be able to see which customers are using the system?
Yeah, so right now, the partners create that company profile. And so in the marketplace, there's a tab called company profile, and you can search the current partners who are in there. So when customers do join, when the pilot kicks off around, within the next month or two, they are able to create a company profile also. Not every company who's in there will necessarily create one. They might be like maybe a smaller nonprofit, or somebody who's just maybe hiring like one role and doesn't really need like a whole company profile. So there are some instances where companies will be in there, but they won't have a profile, but they certainly have the option.
Cool, thank you. So if they have a profile, we'll be able to see them as job seekers looking.
Yeah, in that company search, when you go there, there'll be both the customer and the partners in there. So you can, filter based on location and some of the other details. You mentioned about posted jobs, and another like roadmap hint is that, soon, hopefully soon, you will be able to see some additional jobs on the profile. So I'll give you a use case. Let's say there's a consulting company, and they always have a need for, X cloud expert, whatever that cloud is. And they are just always seeking that. And they'll be able to kind of identify or mark on there, like, this is like a job that we're always needing talent for, and they can communicate that. Also, they'll have ways to kind of add like multiple of those jobs, so that when you are looking at a company profile, sure, you can go to their jobs page, but this is really a way for them to highlight like a hot job. Maybe it's one that they're really, hiring for right now, and they're hoping to get candidates for, or just one that they just always have a need for.
I've seen that either on LinkedIn. You see them weekly, the same companies posting the same job, or on a website, or like an ISV where they're always looking for specific kind of consultant or something.
Yeah, it says like evergreen or something of that nature, to let you know, like, they're always accepting resumes for certain roles. So yeah, they'll be able to highlight either or both.
Thank you.
Iris, did you remember your question?
I know. I'm sorry. There's just too many great things like you guys are saying. So I'm like, squirrel. The question was, So if a company can show what jobs they may be seeking, sometimes, customers are looking for maybe someone to gain a certification, or in here or there that they're looking to win a contract for. Is that something that they could maybe highlight there? Because in this incredible pool of career developers, they can pretty much learn anything. But if they've got an idea of what's coming, customers looking for AI certification, someone's like, okay, I got that.
Yeah, another kind of benefit of having this is that we are really seeing what are the employers searching for. And we can really start to also, in addition to what you're saying, they can add that to their company profile, but we can also start surfacing to Trailblazers, the hot jobs that we're seeing, or the in-demand skills that we're seeing, recruiters just constantly searching for. So we can start to, surface those trends. We're already seeing some, but we're letting, as you know, the data bake a little bit to get more insights.
Yeah, are you seeing good numbers yet? Do you have enough numbers out of the pilots and things yet?
Yeah, so two different sides. The Trailblazers are definitely loving it. We're seeing great, uptick by the Trailblazers, and for the partners, the ones who we just started off with, the number has grown. Casey, I don't even know the percentage you grew it to, but you grew the percentage really large. And then the customer base is larger than the partner, base. So that's really the kind of big influx that will come is when all Salesforce customers can come in there. So that's why we're hoping to get it open soon.
Yeah, because I can think of a couple customers right now that are kind of looking for that kind of stuff. Right? Where do I go to find it? And really, if you've just gotten an implementation, if you think in this manner, you really don't know the ecosystem real well. So it's well, where do I go find that, right? Obviously, this partner built it for me, but now where do I go to find that talent? I don't even know where to begin. What am I even looking for, right? So let's see, Carrie, I just lost your question. Where'd it go there? Normal Trailhead does not show my maintenance due. Will that still be hidden in career mode?
Yes, that will not show to an employer when they're viewing your resume. And so when you are looking at your resume, you're definitely looking at it in the edit mode. You're seeing oh, where can I delete things? Where can I edit? There's also a button that says view as employer, and you can see their view. So when they're looking at your resume, it's that nice and tidy, non-editable version. So it just kind of helps you see it as they would see it.
Excellent. And Christopher L has a follow-on question. This is a good one because this was kind of where my mind was going, right? Any potential for GSA or federal state government direct hire or contract jobs? And starting to get pretty specific, but obviously with where we're coming from and this audience here, it's a big thought.
So I'll give you my answer, but let me know if it's not answering your question the way I heard it. So if those public sector entities come in and use the marketplace, absolutely, they can, reach out to people or search for talent. Right now, through the jobs page with that ZipRecruiter implementation, if there are jobs posted on there, they're going to pull in through that jobs page. So those are kind of the two use cases I can see, is the actual government entity using the marketplace to find talent, and then the jobs coming in through the jobs page. But if that didn't answer, let me know, and Casey and I can try and tackle it.
And there are also many of the system integrators like Deloitte, Accenture, that are hiring for folks with those security clearances are already on the marketplace. And so if there are those sort of roles that are government roles or government roles within the SIs and GSIs and App Exchange customers, many of them are already on the marketplace themselves.
Okay, yeah, actually that answers it, because it's such a growth area for Salesforce, especially with the more recent, was it PSS, Public Services Cloud?
Public Sector Solutions.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Yeah. And I think, you know, and flipping the coin, right? You got the partners, right? The SIs, the GSIs on there, and for everyone on here, system into implementers. Good Lord, we are not doing well tonight. And then the GSI is just a global. I saw Amanda actually answered someone as well about account executives, right? That's who Dave and I work with. We're the tech nerds that go with, and the account executives are really the sales reps that sell this, right? And so they sell Salesforce to the customer. And then Dave and I kind of pass it off to the SIs, GSIs, and then they will generally do the implementation. But then the customer, that's what I was kind of talking about. And kind of to your point, Christopher, you know, some of those same customers that are receiving that, even if they're federal or state, local, could still come on here as customers with the AE and start looking for some of the folks that could be admins or do the config for their kind of sustainment as they go down the road. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I'm actually curious if y'all are reaching out to the AEs, realizing that there's also a fair bit of turnover at times with AEs and certain waves of hiring and letting go. That, you know, are they aware of it as much?
You have just named my whole job, Christopher, over the next 2 months to get this pilot going. But I'm really hopeful because we've had so many conversations with sales and customer success folks over the past years around how do we help our customers find the right people for the right job. And so we're excited. We're excited to be able to offer this for free to our customers. And talent is product agnostic. Talent is industry agnostic. No matter what industry or what cloud you might be specializing in, you need someone who's going to help implement that. And so, yes, that's my job. That's my job, Christopher. You're welcome to join me.
There's the job right there. And you know, yes, there's turnover in AEs, but it's not as much as you would think. And like, for instance, Dave and I work pretty consistently with the same ones, and we may see some turnover in there, but there are ways that, you know, Slack, as you well know, is our internal communication and collaboration, being able to push this stuff out and put it on the channels. Adam, you have a question?
Thanks, David. So hi, Casey. I'm Adam. I work as a program architect here in Salesforce, Australia. I wanted to probably ask a controversial question. It might be one. Salesforce Talent Alliance was doing some great things about getting net new talent across our ecosystem globally. Are they still around, and how are you working closely with them?
Yes, we love our friends in the Talent Alliance. So yes, and I think this is such a huge opportunity for us to collaborate even more closely with the Talent Alliance, to have both the marketplace meeting the opportunity that the Talent Alliance is providing. There are a lot of things that we are hashing out now with the Talent Alliance about how we can collaborate deeper, both on this particular product and how it can be connected to the Talent Alliance, and how we can continue to offer these opportunities across both of our business units to Trailblazers. So yes, they are still around. You can still request auto interviews in your Salesforce military profile with the Talent Alliance. Yes, and there are lots of opportunities for us to work even closer together with them, given our shared vested interest in talent.
That's
And I know
awesome.
that they were like a group that we went to first when we were doing the pilot before we GA'd. They were some of the first ones, and especially because Casey and her team, have such great relationships with the SIs who are already Talent Alliance members. So they were just kind of like an easy crew who said, yeah, of course, we're always looking for talent. We want to be a part of the pilot, basically. So they helped shape it from the beginning also, by giving us feedback and then being some of like those first testers.
We're hoping to bring more of those Talent Alliance partners onto the marketplace, right? So that's the goal.
Yeah, what a great session, despite my horrible reading skills tonight. But like, I never even got to any of the questions, right? Because so many people had so many questions, and such a viable product. Like I went through the Trailhead and saw it, but now seeing it in action and kind of listening to, you know, the information you're putting out, it's like, wow. So I need to get on there tomorrow morning, 4 a.m. Another 4 a.m. wake up. So we're at the top of the hour, just past it. Before I close, I'd like to thank Katherine and Casey for co-hosting tonight's session. It's been awesome having you here and getting your perspective on the topics we discussed. Any last minute thoughts that you'd like to add?
It's our goal to help Trailblazers find great jobs and companies to find great talent. So we're hoping to serve you all in that way.
Awesome. What a great thought there for closing. You said that so much better than I did, Katherine. That's why you're there. With that, thank you all so much for attending. I hope to see you in the next 2 weeks. Have a great Wednesday night.
Thanks, everybody. Be safe.